today with a tutorial. This is a eye tutorial, $129 eye palette on this side, $16 eye palette on this side, and the look is literally exactly the same. And if you're wondering what palettes I'm talking about, it's the Natasha Denona Sunset Palette and the Colourpop Yes Please Cute AF palette. Wow, my light kind of washes that out a little bit. But this palette's $129, this one's $16. This one has been a little bit difficult for people to get their hands on because it sold out so quickly. So stay tuned throughout the video because maybe I have a surprise for you. But you're just gonna have to watch and find out. But yes, this eye was the $129 eye. I've mentioned in a few videos that I'm just kind of like, I don't reach for this. The colors are beautiful, but for some reason, the three Natasha Denona palettes that I own, I never, ever, ever, ever reach for them. They're super expensive. The palette is beautiful, and I obviously love warm tone shades. They're my favorite shades that I gravitate towards all the time. More often than not, 9.9 times out of 10, I go for warmer shades. So when I saw that Colourpop came out with a very similar looking palette, I was like, Most of you probably felt the same way when you saw this, was like, oh, I wonder if it's a dupe for the Sunset palette. I know there's been a few swatch videos, but I really haven't seen many tutorials comparing the two. So today I thought I'd do a video showing you $129 on one eye, $16 on the other eye, and show you how similar they are. I use this many, many times. This little baby I've used maybe twice, 3 times if you count today. So I just really like the Colourpop one. I'm a huge fan of Colourpop. Now I do understand and I'm fully aware that these are much smaller. This one is, they're 0.85 grams and this one is 2.5 grams. So you do get more product. This is $114 more than this palette. Is it really worth it? Is this packaging really worth $114 more? Yes, you get a few more eyeshadows, and yes, you do get a little bit more product, but it's very rare, especially if you are like a huge makeup lover, that you ever use a full palette or like use a full shadow in a palette. So I think if you love these colors, you can get just as amazing look out of this than you can out of this. And I don't know. You guys can decide. If you love the Natasha Denona Sunset Palette, by all means, buy it, love it. This is just my opinion. If I can find something at a less expensive price that is just as good, if not better, then I'm all about that. So I know I have a lot of ladies here that are on a budget and don't like spending tons and tons of money on makeup if you can get it cheaper. So enough rambling. If you are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Cassie. I hope you guys dancing here. Welcome to my channel. My name is Cassie. I hope you guys love my channel and decide to stay a while. And yeah, you can hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell, notification squad, hashtag notification squad. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave and hit that notification bell. That way you're notified of any new videos that come out. Once you have done those things, you can continue on with this video. I'm going to show you a tutorial. We're going to do one eye with the Natasha Denona, one eye with the Colourpop, and at the end of this video I have a surprise and I have swatches, so just stay tuned. So this shade right here in the Natasha Denona palette, I'm going to go in with this soft kind of peachy tone. We're going to take just a big fluffy brush. This one is a MAC 224, so we'll start off with the Natasha Denona side and just start blending it. Now I have the other Natasha Denona palettes I bought a long time ago when they first came out on Beautylish, the white packaging. I think it's like the green palette and then the brown. I don't remember what they're called. Anyways, they were super expensive, like $200 and something each. Crazy, stupid expensive. And honestly, I've maybe used it twice, maybe 3 times. I just don't ever reach for it. I don't know why. It's a beautiful palette, but I don't know. I just have other palettes that I reach for more often. All right, we're gonna wipe the brush off, go in with the Colourpop one, and we're going to blend that over here. I'm just such a huge fan of the Colourpop pressed shadows. I don't use the Super Shock ones all that often, but the pressed ones are some of my favorite shadows out of any makeup brand, and they're so inexpensive, and I love that they're now coming out with these cute little palettes. and they just came out with blotted, I'm gonna wipe this off so I can blend this side. They just came out with these blotted lip, like blotted lipsticks, and I really like those too. Just kind of give like a soft color. And with this orangey color right here, which in my opinion is quite similar to this orangey color. So we're gonna take a little bit more of a stiffer brush. This is a MAC 217. And we'll start over here with the Natasha Denona side. And we're gonna run this into the crease. I'm also going to be doing a foundation's first impressions of the new Laura Mercier Fusion foundation. So make sure you're subscribed so that you are notified when that comes out. Going in with this side. Every time my neighbor leaves his house, it's like so loud. Not to mention, it totally picks up in the microphone. Gotta love those diesel trucks. So this is just a little bit darker. I probably could have gone more with this color. So we're gonna take a little bit of that color and just kind of sweep it over. I'm really sorry if you hear like a loud diesel truck in the background. I swear, every time I go to film, the world works against me. Okay, I'm gonna take that same orange and a little bit of, I think those two oranges are very similar to these two oranges, so I'm gonna just mix those together because that's kind of what I did on this other eye. And just blend that on top. I don't have any product on this brush, I'm just kind of blending around here. I've used this Cute AF palette like 4 times already and I just love it. Which it's funny because I just got it and I've had the Natasha Denona one for a couple months and I've used it twice. That soft peachy color from the Natasha Denona palette. Blend that out. Take the soft peachy color from Colourpop. Let's blend that out. Take this red color and then the red color in this palette as well. We're going to take the Natasha Denona one first and we're going to start feathering this on this side. Let's wipe it off really good. Let's go on this side with the Colourpop one and blend it out. Gosh, already this is like, feels more pigmented than the Natasha Denona one. Take that same brush we were using for the oranges. We'll get the Colourpop color and just kind of pat this and blend. Wipe it off, go to the Natasha Denona side, pat that on a little bit more, build that up. I think probably this brown right here is the most similar to this warm brown. I feel like that one is not quite, and that's not dark enough. So we're gonna take those browns and another MAC 217 brush. We'll start with the Natasha Denona side, tap off the excess, and we're going to just smudge this kind of on this outer third. Now don't get me wrong, I think that this Natasha Denona palette is beautiful. I think it's a gorgeous palette. I just think that there are equally, if not better, shadows for a much cheaper price. Like this Colourpop one, I'm literally getting the same look. It's $16 for the Colourpop one, which in my opinion is better than the Natasha Denona one. $16. It's crazy. And then the Natasha Denona one, I'm just gonna flip the brush over because this wiping off business is gonna take too long. The Natasha Denona one's like $129. Like what the heck? Granted, the packaging, you're getting more product, a bit more product, and the packaging is more lush. But at the end of the day, are you gonna pay almost $115 more for packaging and like a bit more eyeshadow. Like not even enough to make it worth it, in my opinion. So, I mean, I say if you can get your hands on the Colourpop palette, save yourself some money. This sparkly golden shade and the sparkly golden shade in the second row in between the red and that rose gold color. Like that's with no Fix Plus. It's like not even picking anything up. So spray the brush and go in because it does not stick to your brush otherwise. All right. That's the one thing about some of the Natasha Denona shadows is they like have so much fallout. I think that's one reason I don't reach for it as often. That and I forget that I have it. I've used this color in the Colourpop palette and really love it. Basically what I'm doing is I've created this look before using the Colourpop one, and so I wanted to see if I could recreate it using the same palette. Let's go over to the Colourpop side. So that just picks it up without even having Fix Plus on it. And look at how much more pigmented that is. It's so crazy. I don't have any additional product on this. I'm just kind of sweeping it to blend it out. More of a firmer, fluffy brush like this. And I'm gonna go in with that peach color and just really try to buff this out a little bit. There we go. Buff that. There we go. This one only has like a super shimmery white color for the brow bone, and this one actually has a really nice bone colored matte. So I'm gonna actually just use that on both eyes because I do not like a very shimmery brow bone and I do not like it that stark white. So because the Natasha Denona one doesn't have one, I'm gonna do this. And you could do the sparkly white if you want, but I'm not a big fan on me personally of having a super shimmery brow bone, and that one lacks a good brow bone color in my opinion. I don't have any additional product on this. I'm just kind of buffing this out. I use the Curvitude liner from Maybelline, I think. Yeah, I really, really like this liner. If you're looking for a good drugstore one, this is new and I really like it a lot. These eye looks are looking pretty dang similar, if you ask me. Right, I'm gonna go in and finish up with the rest of my face, pop on some lashes and some mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I finished up with the rest of my face, and now we're gonna finish up with our eyes. Take a little black liner, we're gonna put that in our waterline. The color that we put on this outer corner, we're gonna take that same color on the Natasha Denona side, and we're going to smudge that on the outer third to an outer half of this bottom lash line. Go in with the Colourpop, do the same. Sigma shader crease brush, and we're gonna take the reddish color from the Natasha Denona palette. Take that about right about here, and then feather that in. Off the brush, go in with the other side. I'm gonna take the yellow, so the yellow in each palette. We're going to take a smaller brush, take the Natasha Denona side, and we're gonna just pop that right in here. Well, I definitely think I like the Colourpop yellow better. Since we took that brown bone color on both brows, we'll take the sparkly white color from the Natasha Denona palette. Just kind of pop it right there on both eyes. Some mascara on that lower lash line. I'm just using the Urban Decay Perversion on both eyes. Okay, so that is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to stay tuned so you can see the swatches, but honestly, literally the same look on each eye. $129, $16. You guys tell me, do you think it's worth spending the money on the Natasha Denona palette, or do you think the Colourpop one is a better option? And I have a surprise for you guys because I happen to have 2 of these. So I will be giving away one of these palettes. I know it's been hard to get your hands on because it's been sold out. So all you have to do is be subscribed to my channel and comment, what should they comment down below? And comment down below your favorite coffee drink. So mine is an iced skinny caramel macchiato. I want to know what your favorite coffee drink is. If you don't like coffee, list your favorite drink down below. But if you love coffee or if you like coffee, list your favorite drink. It doesn't have to be from a Starbucks, but just your favorite coffee drink. That will be your entry. Just say, enter me, your coffee drink, and make sure you're subscribed. And so that's all you have to do to enter to win one of these. And then all the other rules and stuff will be in the description box on when it ends. But yeah, I think that this is a wonderful little palette. I love the look that I came up with. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, stay tuned if you want to see the swatches, and don't forget to enter the giveaway. Let's get into the swatches. All right, so we're gonna get into the swatches. I'm trying to figure out what is the best method. I need to wipe my brushes off, hold on. Mama's gotta clear her station. I don't know why I refer to myself as Mama. Mama. Okay, I think it's because when I used to work at Dutch Bros, everyone would call me Mama Cass, which is weird because I was very young compared to everyone. I was 16, 17. Everyone called me Mama Cass. There must be something very motherly about me, and maybe it is because I was super responsible. And yeah, I've always been Mama Cass. So, swatches. We have the beautiful Natasha Denona palette, and then you have the Yes Please palette. This one has 12 shadows, so you're only getting 3 less shadows, and it is at 0.85 grams. We're gonna take this color called Atmosphere. Let's give it a swatch. It's a really pretty kind of cranberry color, and we're taking this color Bling from the QAF palette, which is going to be on the first row right here. The Bling has just a tiny bit more intensity, a little bit more of a reddish copper, but I feel like you could put both of these on your lid and get almost the exact same look. So I would say those ones are close enough that you could get away with calling it a dupe. So that is the first color in the Natasha Denona palette. All right, the next color in the Natasha Denona palette is this really pretty warm brown. It is called Sinai. The color that is closest to it would be this color right here, which I believe is called GNO. They are quite similar. I feel like these are the colors that I used in my crease, and I feel like you can get such a similar look. They're not spot on 100% dupes, but I would say they're probably about 90%. Both super creamy, both very matte and blendable. This white, I don't know, shimmery color, it's called Ice Gold. Ice Gold? Yeah, Ice Gold. And it is not in the other palette. It's just a white eyeshadow. So the only one that they have that is a light color, which I actually prefer, is this color right here, which is a off-white bone color, and it is in the shade Full Zip. So you can see it's not a dupe, it's more of a bone ivory color, which I actually prefer. This one I tried to put on my inner corner, and I was just kind of underwhelmed with it. Really fun, shimmery orange, and it is called Mandarin. It's definitely a mandarin-y color. I'm gonna give that a go. You can see it's a really pretty, shimmery, bright mandarin. This is the color Chauffeur in the Colourpop palette. It's a slight bit lighter, but again, I feel like you could get the exact same eye look. You wouldn't know the difference. It's not enough of a variance that you couldn't get away with it. So in with this kind of rosy rose gold color, and it is in the shade Bronze Age, so I guess it's more of a bronze color. I feel like some of their shimmers are very, very chunky in the Natasha Denona palette, so I get a lot of fallout, but if you use Little Fix Plus, it does help. So this one is Bronze Age. There isn't a dupe in the palette for this color right here. So this next color is Volcano, and it's just a matte deep brown. This color right here, which I believe is called French Kiss. And these are the colors I used on my outer V. And do you see how much more creamy that is? Like, look at how much more opaque and creamy. This one's patchy, and I noticed that when I was applying it on my eyes. This one was not as intense. I can grab some more and build it up. But I definitely prefer this tone a lot more in the Colourpop one. It has a little bit more of that purpley burgundy tone to it, but it's close enough. Like I said, you can't tell a difference on my eyes which color I used. I definitely prefer the Colourpop one over the Natasha Denona one. Next is this golden color. There's not any color similar to it in the Colourpop palette, but I will swatch it for you. As you can see, like, there's a ton of chunkiness. Foiled shadow. This color is beautiful though, absolutely stunning, very reflective, very shiny, metallic. So this one's really pretty, and that is in the shade Aubade, and there isn't anything like it in the Colourpop palette. This bright orange, and it is called Horizon, and it's a matte. And there it is. Takes a little bit of building up, and I believe it's called Big Cocktails. I'm trying to figure out the name of these because it's backwards on the back of the palette. So there's Big Cocktails. I feel like the Colourpop one was quite a bit smoother and went on a little bit more pigmented. This is the shade that is all over my lid, and this one is in Sundazed. And this one is a little bit chunky. As you can see, I'm like barely pressing and there's a ton of fallout. So be careful with that. I did find that the Colourpop one I prefer more. This is a really pretty golden shade, and the color is Spoiled in the Colourpop one. I found that that was more pigmented and went on a lot smoother. Now it is a tad bit lighter. I found when I used Fix Plus though, they were very, very similar. It's what's on my lid, and I cannot tell the difference on my lid. In these swatches, it definitely, this one's a little bit more golden and this one's a little bit more of a white gold. But on your lids, I do feel like they are so very similar. Next is this reddish brown here. This one is called, what are you called? Terra. And it is a warm brown. It's kind of like a warm reddish brown. The closest thing that I can find in here is this color right here. And this one is Note to Self, which is actually more of a neutrally brown. And they're not going to be a dupe. As you can see, this one is less warm. It's a little bit more of a neutral, cooler brown. This one is far more red, but not a dupe, but both are very, very pretty. Color Bermuda, it's a soft peachy pink color. That is very similar is the color Champs, which is this color right here. Champs is a slight bit more pink, and the Natasha Denona one is a slight bit more peach, but when I applied them in my crease, I honestly couldn't tell a difference between the two. So while in the finger swatch, they look quite different, when you blend them on your eyes, they are very, very similar, as you could see in the demo. Right here, called Morgana, I think that's how you say it. This one is a really cool kind of rose gold melony color. You can see that. Reminds me of Melon Pigment from MAC. Very intense, super pretty, kind of has that orangey gold look to it. Which is Louis. See, they're very, very similar. So this one has a little bit more of a peachy gold. This one has a little bit more of a pinky red. But again, very similar. I think you could get the similar look on your eyes. If you were wanting something like this, I think the Colourpop would give you the same look. Kangen. And it's a beautiful matte red. And this one is like a slight bit patchy. It's not as creamy as I would hope. And the dupe would be the, maybe this one was Buttercake and this one is Spoiled. I think that's what it is. So this one is super creamy. I found that it applied much better on the eyes, and there's slight variance. This one's a little more red. This one is like a bluer red. This one's more of a purpley, pinky red. But again, you could get the similar look using the Colourpop one over the Natasha Denona one. Igneous, and there's not anything like it in the other palette. I will swatch it for you though. It's just a deep, cool toned, kind of charcoaly black color. And then we have the yellow, which is called Soul. And I did use a little bit of this. Now this one again is like a little bit patchy. It takes a little bit of building up, and it's like a canary yellow. It would be this yellow here, which is Mischief. And I did use that as well, and I found that I liked this one better. It's a bit brighter, a little less mustardy. They are very, very, very similar. I feel like this one is a little bit more, I don't know actually. I thought at first it was a little bit more brighter, but they look very similar. So those were the swatches. Not all colors are going to be 100% spot on dupe, but I find that you could literally create almost the exact same look with either palette. They're close enough that you could create a look with this palette and then create a look with this palette and you're gonna get the same similar effect, just like I did on my lids. So it's up to you. What do you guys think? Do you think that it's worth splurging the $129 for the Natasha Denona? Do you feel like the $16 one from Colourpop is a better deal? What are your thoughts? I'm super curious to hear down in the comments below. If you love them both, buy both. I mean, do what you want. I could do it again. I would skip out on the Natasha Denona one and buy the Colourpop one. So that's just my personal thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. Comment your favorite coffee drink, and if you don't like coffee, your favorite drink, and just write enter me in that same comment. And you must be subscribed, and that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Don't forget, before you leave, hit that notification bell. Give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.